Hello guys, welcome to another video. From betrayed Sekiryuutei to the world's strongest Nikke. By Argus_Fallen_019 Chapter 5. Mission: Fake Priest and Crow Hunting and Meeting Her Destined Ones. Third POV, after Rappy met Azazel and the vampire named Crowley, she decided to prepare her assault rifle and loaded it with holy demonic magic ammo and draconic magic ammo. Then she wears her clothes that she wore before in her previous world since she only had one mission. Mission: Fake Priest and Crow Hunting. After she dressed up on her combat suit, she headed to the living room on ground floor as she met the gaze of Valley, Azazel and Crowley. Valley. Blushing like hell, oh my Satan, you're so FC King sexy with that nice thick ass of yours exposed in front of my eyes. Drooling face, he said while blushing and drooling like a pervert. Azazel. I agree with you, after all, it's a shame that I am too old for this sh*t. Crowley. Look at the side while blushing, unlike me, I respect the girl's appearance. I admit that she looks beautiful and sexy, but I would never look at her in perverted gaze, he said with noble act and respect on Rappy. Rappy. That's nice of you, Crowley-san. However, Valley and Azazel. She then grabbed Valley and Azazel's head and forcefully headbutted their head, which Valley and Azazel felt the pain when they headbutt before they dropped unconsciousness. Rappy. You shouldn't stare at my ass. You know it's kind of embarrassing when someone else staring at it for so long. You should respect female's body or else, she said with a scary voice at the end of her line. Then Mickey came to the room as she looked at her daughter. Mickey. Dear, why are you wearing that clothes? Rappy. Look at her mother. Sorry mom, but I was hired by Valley's father to hunt down his subordinate who gone rogue. I am the only expert on military combat in this town. I'll be fine, it's just a few gang armed with handgun, she lied to her mother. Mickey. Okay then, you should be careful. Look at Azazel and Valley. You two must take care of my daughter or else there will be a punishment that is worse than death, she said with menacing look at them. Then Azazel and Valley noticed this as they hugged each other in fear while nodding at her. After that, Mickey decided to go with Goru, who's waiting outside the house. Once again, both Mr. and Mrs. Hyodo decided to go away while riding as they went to the mall to buy something or enjoying their time. Rappy. So Crowley-san, what brings you here at my home? Crowley. I was looking for someone who knows something about the robot in every countries. Rappy. Wait, are you somehow part of the human organization? Crowley. On contrary, yes it is. I was their part-time member of that group and they trusted me to find the one who knows about those robots and what are their intentions about it. I'm just an ordinary ambassador for Carmilla faction. Rappy. Okay then, I'll trust you for this and I'll tell you what are they and their intentions on coming to this world, she said as she began to explain everything about raptures and their evil plan on conquering both worlds. Crowley. So that's how is it? Well then, I hope we can defeat it, but first, look at Azazel, when will you finish your project? Azazel. I will start it tomorrow morning with my friends and my workers. I just show this blueprints to Rappy if there are many errors. It turns out, we need huge power source and barriers with advanced weapons to equip to these robots. The deadline of this project will be in next few months. Crowley. Good, we always need it so that we could win over against the Teps faction. After this civil war between Teps and Carmilla faction, we will help the humanity once for all. Azazel. Understood. Lord Crowley Usford of the 13 Progenitor. Crowley. Good, and also do you want me to call my friends on this mission? Rappy. Really, it's fine for me, Crowley. Take your time, she said as Crowley take out his phone and text his friends for the important mission. After few minutes later, Crowley's friend appeared before them. One is a muscular man, one is a black and yellow streak-haired man, and the blonde-hair man seems familiar to Rappy. Crowley. Rappy, Valley and Azazel. Meet my friends, the heir of Bael clan. Siroorg Bael, the strongest evil dragon. Krom Kruok, and lastly, the heir of Phoenix clan, Riser Phoenix. Rappy. Blinks her eyes in 4x, Crowley. Grabs Crowley's clothes with her strong cyber hands. You never told me that your friends were two devil clans, heir and evil dragon. How did you befriend them? Crowley. Shrugs. No idea why, he said with no clues. Riser. Riser seems so familiar about you, girl? He asked her. Rappy. Look at Riser's eyes. If you're wondering about me, yes. I am very familiar to you because I am the very same person who beat your ass during our duel for that red-haired bitch. she said as Riser was confused until he realized what Rappy meant. Riser. Shock. What, you're Sekiryuutei, but how did you end up as a girl? Rappy. I will say this to you, red-haired bitch and bastard Valifor killed me and got reincarnated as one of the half-human Nikke, and female android warriors fight against evil alien robots, she said as both Riser and Rappy stared at each other as Riser laughed first. Riser. Peefed. Ha 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 ha, the Sekiryuutei has turned into a girl. Ha ha ha. Riser never expected that the current Sekiryuutei now became a beautiful and sexy girl. Ha ha ha, he said as Rappy sulking in the corner while Valley is comforting her. Sekiryuutei. So this is current Sekiryuutei, she is kind of cute, innocent girl with sexy body and thick thighs. No wonder why my lower region is hurting when I look at her and her godly thick ass, he said while admitting that his lower part erected inside of his pants. That would goes the same with Crom and Riser. Crom and Riser. So that's what Sekiryuutei said, but is this girl a child of Aphrodite or something? Meanwhile, Aphrodite. Achoo. Someone is talking to me. Look at Ares, oh Ares, why don't you pound my pussy for me? Ares. As you say so, my bitch, he said to her. At the throne room of the Olympus, Zeus was sleeping in his throne as he heard the moans of Aphrodite and grunts of Ares. Zeus. Sigh. Great. Now I am worried that my son Hephaestus felt heartbroken. Realize something, wait a minute. How about I should find a woman that is suited for Hephaestus so that my son can never experience any pain that is done by Aphrodite. Just wait for it, my son, he said as he stand up on his throne before he do a T-pose and a lightning bolt strike at Zeus as he disappear in a flash. Back to the Kuo, after that, Azazel left them as he headed to the Grigori to begin his project. Then Rappy and her squad mates decided to walk out in nighttime and split up on different locations, leaving Rappy and Valley as a pair teams. Speaking of it, Rappy and Valley arrived in the warehouse where her past life on hunting the stray devil, Visor. She was spying on Kiba, Kaneko and Saji who were wearing priest costume while Irina and Xenovia were somewhere else. Rappy. So, do you find anything, Valley? She said while looking at the people in warehouse with her binoculars. Valley. Not so much, except for Crom, Riser, Crowley and Sekiryuutei who are spying on other location, he said as a radiophone answered them. Sekiryuutei. Less than, static. This is Sekiryuutei Bael. Does anyone hear me? Over. Static, greater than he said as Valley answered him. Valley. Less than, static. This is Valley. What is your status? And do you find anything clues? Over. Static, greater than. Sekiryuutei. Less than, static. There's a problem. There is a rogue cadre fallen talking to a male devil about ambushing the school tomorrow night and they're using the Excaliburs to eliminate everyone and start the Great War. We need another plans right now. Also, we're going to retreat and wait for tomorrow night. Over. Greater than. Valley. Less than roger that. Greater than he then ended the call which Rappy clearly understand it. Rappy. So that Valifor bastard make a move, right? Valley. Yes Rappy. But when will we move out? Rappy. Not today, we should show ourselves tomorrow night. Besides, they seem not to look like weak as they fight fairly against that crazy Fried Selzen and also, Irina and Xenovia came just in time. And it looks like Kiba found out who's the culprit in project. Holy swords. She said as while looking at the little fight on devils, exorcists against the stray exorcists. After that, Kiba, Irina and Xenovia began chasing Fried and Valpier while Saji and Kaneko stayed behind. Then Sona and Tsubaki along Rias and Akano appeared in their clan's teleportation. Speaking of Rias, she has her head bandage over like a living mummy due to Rappy's heavy blow on her face. Rappy. Before we left, I want to give a gift to Rias B** Shmari. She said as she attached the 4x32 sniper scope on her favorite gun. Once she finished attaching a scope on her gun, she aimed her gun to Rias before infused the holy magic on her gun as she said. Rappy. Sorry Rias, you will not going to have a kids with your worthless fiancé, Valifor bastard. She said as she turned off the safety mode before she fired her gun. Then the bullet infused with holy magic went flying towards Rias, instead of head, chest, or legs. The bullet went to the Rias private part and Rias screams in pain and agony. Rias. Ah. My womb, someone shot me in my womb with holy magic, ah. she said as while holding her bleeding part which Sona and Tsubaki went panic as they bring Rias to the C-Tree's hospital. While Saji and Kaneko were scared as they run away from their spot. Valley. Whistle. That's payback time, isn't it? He said as Rappy snugs as she said. Rappy. I know right. By the way, do you want me to shoot you in your lower region? Valley. Nope, I value my life and my part than becoming a shooting dummy for you. I won't bother you. Rappy. Wise choice then. Switch her guns to safety mode on. Now then, we should head back home. Asia and my parents are waiting for me and I'm sure they have a best supper tonight. You wanna come with me? Valley. Alright, I'll come with you then, he said as both of them decided to left their place and head back home. Meanwhile, location. Another world, Rappy's world. Inside of Anderson's office, Ingrid and Anderson were discussing something about the gate and Rappy's disappearance. Ingrid. So you decided to repair this gate? Anderson. I know you're worried for Rappy but I know she is a good girl. Anderson. I know Ingrid, I couldn't help myself since I just look at her as my own daughter. Also I let Suen and Mustang help us with this project. Ingrid. I agree with you for choosing Mustang but at the same time I disagree with Suen. That brat dares to dishonor our laws which she is treating the other Nikke as a weapon. Anderson. I know that but I have make sure that we will use anything we can to suppress Suen from her doing. I promise that. Ingrid. Glares at him, good then. But right now, where are our forces every time when that rapture strike us? Anderson. Speaking of raptures, there are numerous occasions that they disappear through another world. I think they are heading to the location called Bermuda Triangle. Ingrid. Why would raptures go to the Bermuda Triangle, unless? Anderson. According to our research, there is a portal beneath the Bermuda. Ingrid felt shocked. That's why I was going to assign Rappy's team with their commander to do search and rescue for Rappy. Also, I am going to add Modernia, Marion as additional teammates since Rappy was now absent on her team. They will take a shortcut on the Bermuda Triangle. Ingrid. I hope this will not be a waste of time. Do whatever you want Anderson. For Rappy and for the humanity. She said as she left the office while Anderson fixed his coat as he said. Anderson. I hope nothing happens to you Rappy, he said as he looked at the photo where Rappy, her friends, teams, her commander, Ingrid and him are smiling in joy on their Christmas events before. What a peaceful for them and right now, he will do anything to bring her back since he along the others missed her so they will not give up any time because Rappy is the last hope for them.